Hello everyone, this is Eric at RC Monster Garage, and today we're going to do something really cool. We're going to make this Arma Felony into a police car. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's going to be a couple steps, couple video, pay attention. I'm trying to do it very simple. But let's see if it will work or not. I will post the video anyway. Okay, so let's start. First thing to do is we need to do this area here of the door. We need to actually change it into white. So what I'm going to try to do, just gonna try to take a vinyl, and it's not a vinyl wrap, it's actually just a vinyl sticker, and I'm gonna cut it and actually apply it on the door, and I'm gonna cut it while it is on the door. Now it's very complicated to do because you need to have a very sharp blade, and I'm using right now a very thin satin black color. And what I'm gonna try to do is, let's put my knife away for a second. I'm gonna try to put it first from the lowest point where it's gonna be straight, and then I'm just gonna try to stretch it up a little bit. It will be easier to do with a wrapping material, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna try to use whatever I got, because it's also much cheaper. So far to this corner it's very easy, and it's leave two clear lines over here for where to cut in the bottom line, so it's pretty good. And I can see that it's all gonna stretch all the way to where the windshield is, so it's gonna be just fine. Now we want to go from the center and actually smooth it out. And now, by the way, this is gonna be for sale when I'm done with it, so if anybody interested, just contact me. I'm doing it with vinyl and not with paint for a very simple reason, that it's actually going to be able to remove if you decided that you don't want it to look like a police car. Now, when you get into the area where the door is, there is a door handle over here that we're going to cut off. So if you remove it, you can see it. I will do it very gently, but so what I want to do first is see more or less where the door handle is, and I can already see here there's one of the creases, and there's gonna be one here and one there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab my X-Acto blade, and I'm gonna cut it gently first, only on the bottom, just to open it up a little bit to relieve some of the pressure, so I can actually push it in. And this is already feel a little bit better. Then I'm gonna cut this, and I'm gonna cut that, and then if you look from the top, you can see that it needs to go a little bit further in, but I first want to actually just have a small square that we're gonna remove, and then we can trim everything around it. That's it. Okay, so this is first, and now we can actually stretch it in a nice way and trim it a little bit better. So far the door looked pretty good, and then I'm gonna start folding it in all the way to where the frame of the windshield is. Okay. I know some of you guys that are doing car wrap right now, going crazy and saying, oh, what is he doing? I'm doing something that the normal people could do in their house. So I'm trying to do it as simple as possible for them. Okay, so now we have the door kind of set up the way we want it. Then I'm gonna start removing excess of vinyl. Now you have to have a very sharp brand new blades to do that, and it's take quite a time, and if you're not sure what you're doing, just don't do that so you don't cause any damage. And now what I'm doing, I'm pushing my thumb over there into my nails and see where the line is. and then I can remove this thing away, and I can push actually the white in, and then let's remove this real quick. Already start looking pretty nice. And again, later I'm just gonna stretch it just a little bit with a kind of a heat gun. You have to do this part very, very gently, because you can melt the body in 2 seconds. Okay, let's pull this thing out. Okay, so we have our door over here, and now this is the edge between 2 different materials. There is the lower parts of the doors, and then there is the upper parts, that it's 2 parts that kind of merge together. So we're gonna look very good where the problem. Now there's a small air bubble here. You just stab it, and the air will actually just go through it while you actually smooth it out. So it's pretty easy to do. Okay, so far we already have the one door, and then here on the edge, on the very edge of this, what I'm gonna do is I actually gonna push it with my nails in to exactly where it's supposed to go, and can actually pull it out a little bit, and that's it. And this door is kind of done. I just need to heat it up a little bit and to trim nicer around this area where it's nice and round. So this you have to do very, very gently, so you're gonna have a nice black trim around the door handles. Okay, so now we have the door kind of wrapped, and we can do the same on the other side. So to go to the other side, it's going to be self-explanatory. Whatever you just did, you're going to do on the other side. And then I'm just going to 3D print. This is going to be actually vinyl print. I'm going to print police, and we're going to put it here and see how it's going to end up in. Let me do the other side real quick of the camera, and then we're going to go to the next step. Okay, so now it's kind of the harder part. So I cut those with my sticker cutter. I cut the police, and now we have to remove them and see if it's going to fit. It's maybe a little bit bigger than what I was planning it to, but we're going to see right now. So what you do is you grab it and you try to align to where you want it to be. You know, I think it's going to be just fine, and I just have to find a straight line over there. So I find a straight line where I want it to be, and I'm just gonna place it and make sure it's more or less straight with the car window. And then I just apply first the lower part, and then I'm gonna start pushing the letters kind of one by one. So I compress all the air and air bubbles out. Okay, and now this is kind of ready. Now, when you do this, this is very gentle now, because when you pull it, you can pull the entire sticker. So what you want to do is wet this with water and give it a couple seconds, and then the adhesive of the glue will actually dissolve. Now, I know how to do that, so I can just hold one of the letters and pull it gently, and I don't need to use any liquid for this, for the removal. But if you guys do that at home, please do that with some water or Windex or anything like it. And then now we have it. We have the police on the door. Now, next step is to put here a police light bar. So I'm gonna have a nice LED light that we're gonna put on it. I'm gonna show it in a second, but let me do the other side. It's exactly the same, so again, don't want to waste your time, and I will be back in a second. Okay, and now we're going to the coolest part. So what we got here is LED light that is actually police light that can actually change, and it will be very cool to run the car with it. Whoops, it's falling. Let's plug it in just so you guys can see. So this is the police light bar that I'm gonna put, and then you can actually change it to blinking light, and I'm gonna set up the option to actually change it from the remote itself. So actually it can be really cool while you're driving the car and have it right there. And the cool thing, I shut it off real quick. The cool thing that this is actually made out of aluminum, not plastic, and it's actually look nice with the color of the vehicle itself. So let me get some tools and we're gonna put it in, and we're gonna go from there, see how it's gonna look. Yeah, stay tuned. You know, it's kind of in steps, and I did not decide yet how I'm gonna divide the video, so just you have to keep watching. So what we did right now, we came back to my table because I need to build a bracket for this, and it will take a couple minutes, and I would like you to see how to do that. So what we're gonna do, of course you need Loctite, you need some tools. We're gonna start by actually do the insert, and I want the insert to be from the outside. So actually the screw will be from the outside, but the nut will be from the inside. Like this, it's gonna look a little bit better. Then those are Phillips, so we're just gonna tie them in. Okay. I'm first just putting it in, and I'm gonna show you guys in a second what I'm going to do, because I'm gonna back up the screw that I just put and put Loctite in it so it's not gonna fall apart. But always before you put the Loctite and lock everything into place, you always have to make sure that everything's gonna work the way you want it. Okay, so this is our light, and this is how it's gonna sit on top of the car. So it can get adjusted to wherever you want it. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna back it up a little bit. And I'm gonna take my Loctite and put a drop exactly where I'm gonna reverse back the thread. This is one. And usually when you're using Loctite, let it sit for a while. Loctite like to dry overnight. And again, what I'm doing, I'm pushing it down instead of removing the entire thing. I put in a drop, let it coat the entire inside, and then we're gonna close it back. And now what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna find the angle that we want, more or less, and I want it to be kind of straight. And then we take this RC tool that you guys probably familiar with, and we put it in, and we're gonna start locking it into place. But you need to give yourself some room for adjustment. Okay, so this is one. Yep, it got stuck a little bit. This is need to go a little bit lower. Just a little bit lower than that. That's it. It's kind of, you see, even with the Loctite, it's loosed up as soon as you move it. So you have to make sure to get it just where you want it when you want it. Okay, this is good. Let's lock it even more because I don't want it ever to move. Let's do the other side. I'm gonna lock it into place and shift it, and then lock it again, and then we can shift it to where we want it. And right now it's sitting the same height where I want it, and that's it. And now we just need to go, and we need to drill a couple holes in the car in order to hook it up, but we need to also mark a center, and I'm going to show how to do that. So what happened is we got a problem. This is a little bit too high for what I want it to be, the lights. So when I look at the light itself, I can probably flip the light and use those two mounts from the inside, but I will need to make two holes over here in the body very accurately, so the light actually can be flash mount all the way through. So what I will need to do is actually turn those all the way up this way while it's sitting in the inside and bolted back from the inside. And this will give me actually what I want. Grip it from the top and keep it very low profile. Let me start working on it. This will be a little bit complicated, so we'll stop for a second and then fix it up. So let's start. So what we need to do first is protect a little bit the body. So I'm going to put some tape on it, and also I'm going to use the tape to actually set up my marking. And in order to get it pretty accurate, what I do, I'm going to start with the line on the window over here and go up from there, just so I can see where exactly I'm going to cut. You guys will understand in a second what I'm doing. Same line over there. Now, I have here more or less area that if I will set it up, it will be kind of to the center. So now what I need to do is measure from the front how far I need to go. So what I'm doing is looking here to have equal distance. And then we're going to do this. We'll take some tape. Go here, straight line. And what it helps us do is just keep everything kind of square in. I'm going to do one more here. And one more there. Okay, so what's going on here right now? So we have like an intersection, and we have more or less where we're going to put the light. And now we have to see the light going to go kind of here and there. We're going to take a marker. And you cannot really see, but I marked two spots, one here and one there. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to measure it again to see if this is spot on, and it is. This is exactly where I need it to be. Now, I need to know how much I'm going to need to cut. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in the center, and then I'm going to mark. And this is the distance that need to get cut. I'm going to do the same here. So now I know how far I need to cut those two slots in order for this to fit in. Let's do it real quick. It's not going to be easy because this Lexan is pretty thick. And we need to have it really, really straight. Yeah, this thing is so thick, it's very, very hard to actually make the hole. So after we made the holes and we need to clean them, so we're going to take a small file and kind of file it up a little bit just so you have a cleaner hole. And then the light will fit right now inside, no problem at all. Okay, so all I need to do right now is actually flip it, close the two screws, and it's done, it's ready. And then we have to figure out where to hook it up. So let's do that. Looking awesome. So this is going to be super complicated to actually tape, but let's try anyway. So what we're trying to do right now is actually reverse what we did earlier, and we're going to put all the parts back together, but through those holes. It's let's see if we've been able to do on the camera. And I'm trying to look at the place at the same spot and work on it at the same time. So let's see. So what's going on here right now, because of the thickness of this body, those L-shaped pieces don't really want to fit the right way. So what I'm gonna need to do is actually set this thing up and 3D print the parts over here, or I think I'm gonna first try to do that with a double stick tape. That I believe that the double stick tape will just hold it as strong as possible, not gonna come out. Let's try first double stick tape. Okay, so for the double stick tape, we have to use a very high quality. We're gonna use the 3M, and what you need to do is actually set up your double stick tape in couple different layers, because there is kind of high difference, and then we're gonna have to heat it up actually with a heat gun. And what the heat gun going to do, the heat gun is actually going to activate it. Double stick tape is really cool thing, but if it's not getting activated with heat, it's really not gonna be as good as you want it to be. So always pay attention when you're working with double stick tape. This is kind of a thing that you must do, is it's like you have to heat it up. Now after we did like the layers of 3D, sorry guys, I'm tired. After we did all the layers of the double-sided tape, we want to heat it up. You can do it with a heat gun. I'm just gonna do it with a lighter, just because I don't have the power going all the way here. And all you do is just warming it up a little bit. That's all it is. It's not gonna burn it or anything. It's just activating the glue. Okay, and then let's put it in. Make sure it's in the hole, and then set it up to where we want it, and just push it in. You have to be very gentle with this car, because the way that they designed this, okay, now this is sitting pretty strong, but I still want it to be a little bit tighter. So I'm gonna hold it from the bottom inside and push it in. Oh, this is not going anywhere. This is right now super strong, and it's set up the right way. And then I have the wires going from the inside that we're gonna show you later where to hook up. Yes, this is actually pretty good, and I actually like it. So let's start seeing how to put the electricity together. So now this is how it's looking after we actually hooked it up to the battery. And let's play a little bit with the light. So if you press the button here, the light will actually change a little bit, and if you press this, they will run this way, that way, this way, that way. So now we have our Arma custom police car. Well, not super hard to do, just time consuming, and this is for sale. You can get it at our shop at MotoStyle Hobby Shop in Granada Hills, 17540 Chatsworth Street. And you can shoot me a text over there through the comments below if you would like to get this, or maybe you want me to make something else for you. People send me cars from all over to customize, and I make really cool stuff. See you in my next video. Bye.